Good morning, everyone. This is a joy and a pleasure for all of us to be here today to give this one final salute and honor and tribute to someone that we all got to call Dad. It was truly an honor for all of us. As difficult as this is for all of us, I think we all collectively agree that this absolutely had to be done. We had to speak and talk well of our dad, who was so much more than daddy, so much more than father. But we just wanted to, amidst our grief, amidst all of what we're feeling on the inside, to just stop and say how much we love, how much we honor, how much we really cherish the memory of our father, and more than that, the legacy now of our dad. So, joy and pleasure.
I must say I've been with this family for 18 years, and I call him Dad as if he was my father, which he was, and he was always a person who was always there, always present, always loving. And today I get to interview my siblings, my in-laws we call them, my sisters, my brother, my children. We're going to talk about Dad, Daddy, Papa, Grandpa.
I need to apologize to everybody here. I feel somewhat responsible because had I told Daddy that I was getting married on my next birthday, he still would have been around. Just waiting, because that's something he would have always wanted to see.
Sure.
So I do apologize.
Well, thanks for admitting that, Ira.
Yeah, I know, right?
So there's a few questions I want to ask my siblings today. What are some of your funniest or enjoyable moments with Dad? Arl and Ivan, you could respond to this.
Okay, so many years ago, we were on family vacation, and I guess I was taking a tad bit too long in Macy's, and Daddy came walking in. I was looking at this polo shirt, and he's like, well, how much is it? And rather than I just tell him what it was, I just tried to, play along. And he just found another shirt. And when he saw the price, he was like, oh, no, come, let's go, time to go. And I said, no, Daddy, I want the shirt. And so he's like, Ivania, you trying to tell me you want to spend $89 for a shirt? I said, Daddy, I want the shirt. And he's like, all right, you want the shirt? I saw the same shirt in Walmart for $4.97.
Wow.
We're going to get 20 of these same shirts. Let's go. I said, but Daddy, it's a polo shirt. He said, what is a polo shirt? I said, Daddy, you see the little thing on the side? He's like, you mean the man on the horse? I'll draw it on for you. Let's go. That, I think, has always stuck with me.
For me, it goes several years back. I would have just come out of flight school. We were in Cleveland, Tennessee. Daddy and I, we were riding, and he said, let's rent an aircraft. There's a big sky out here. So we rented an aircraft. We went up for a little bit. It started to rain. The runway got wet. And, and as a pilot, once the runway is wet, that gives you that good landing. You could stick that landing. So we came around, did a landing. It was right on point. Daddy looked at me and said, he was so proud of me. And, as a boy, all you want to hear is your father say that he's proud of you. And to hear that, the tears started to flow. I started to cry, he started to cry. And as we taxied back to the hangar to return the aircraft, both of us are crying and walking out of the aircraft holding each other. And the gentleman that we rented the aircraft from, he came over, and his thing was, gentlemen, I don't know what you're all going through, but God will see all through. So Daddy and I, we had a good laugh all the way back to the hotel on that. He and I, we were simply just sharing a father and son moment, but, the gentleman thought that, we were going through something. So I thought that was actually funny at the time.
All right. What would you say was a guiding principle that you received from your father? What is a life lesson that he was deliberate to pass on?
That this world is round. Daddy said it all the time. You reap what you sow. There's absolutely no way you could plant corn and expect to go and pick peas. You reap what you sow. That there was priceless for me. And like I told my brother the other day, I had the unique opportunity to both be raised and also be managed when we opened up the shop by my father. And working with him, I got to see faith in action.
I think for me, a guiding principle is because Daddy was such a very practical man. You know, every time I walk around the house, I see things that he has done that are so unconventional. Like Daddy could take wood or metal or string, and he was really our true MacGyver. And it looked straight like snug on the Acklins, but it was absolutely functional. It worked, and it worked well. You know, I just said the other day, you know, at our old home, Dad built furniture that's functional right now. You know, the others that were bought had to be thrown away, but you know what Dad built last.
So tell me about the earliest memory of your dad.
I think some of my earliest memory would have been going Claridge Road when he had a boat. Daddy had a boat at the marina, Claridge Marina. And he'd just say, I go into the boat. And we knew that going to the boat meant he was going to the beach. It had a little beach down there. And they had dredged out the marina, so that meant the sand was high, high, high. And of course, some of the neighbors came, and we'd go and we'd climb all the way up the mountain, all the way up the sand mountain, and I always thought that was the mountain. And climb up to the mountain, and then we go hail him at the boat, and then we go down to the beach, and we just had a wonderful time. Those were some of my earliest memories, and we went to the boat often because Daddy is a boat fanatic. He was a boat fanatic, so that's something we did often.
What will you say that you miss most about your father?
I think I'm going to miss just seeing him in the yard. Going in the yard just to find out where he is and what he's doing, because he's always doing something in the yard. Just to go and stand on the side of him as he's farming, as he's cutting wood, as he's by a car, whatever it is he's doing. I think those are some of the things. Traveling back and forth, just riding up and down. Dira come go with me, and we go here, and just the conversations. I think the conversations I'm gonna miss. Yes, my mechanic is gone, my cook is gone, and so many other things. He wore so many hats, but I think just having that person to talk to, I'm gonna miss most.
I think what I'm going to miss the most, above a lot of other things, is he was my travel partner. When we went away, he always stick right to the side of me because Uncle Ian lost me once and he wasn't gonna let it happen again. I could see us right now in Ross, and he was different with me because I could get the name brands. I don't know about the rest of them. But I could see him on the side of me in Ross, and you sure you want this? I'm like, yeah, Pop, I really want it. I like it. Okay, put it in the trolley. And he would hold all my bags, and he would just walk behind me and trail me, and that would be so comforting. And we'd crack jokes along the way, and he was really my travel partner from airport straight through.
So, Aaliyah, tell me one word that describes your grandfather.
One word that would describe Papa is that he was always there whenever we needed him. He was always there every track, everything we had for track. He was there cheering us on, screaming, Peter, Peter, Peter.
I guess for me, I could speak for them. I would miss him picking them up from school and being the ride. Anytime Icharo needs to go somewhere, because, you know, he's into music now. If Icharo has to go somewhere, he'll be the person that will take them where they need to go. And, of course, the trips. Definitely the trips, being there, supporting, making sure the kids are there. They're not all over the place running through the store. But he was always there. So I think that those things I would miss. How would you sum up the legacy of your dad?
My father's legacy is one of love.
Patience, humility.
He was a man of integrity. Daddy was a man of faith. I remember a few years ago, I was dealing with a situation at work, and I wrote my resignation letter. And we were talking it through, and he told me, he said, Vanny, do not put that paper in until you pray. I'm going to pray. I need you to go and pray. And I went and I prayed. Well, actually, sorry, he went and he prayed. I was hard-headed because I had already made up my mind. And he came back and he said to me, do not put in that paper. Your hands are not clean in the situation. You have to clean your hands. If you expect the Lord to move on your behalf, you have to make sure that your hands are clean. And for me, he loved us unconditionally, but he made sure he wasn't just a feel-good dad. He told us what we needed to hear, and I needed to hear that. And yeah, everything was scripture with him. But that, make sure your hands are clean, because you cannot expect the Lord to move on your behalf. That stuck with me.
I think Dad was just full of purpose, and he was a man who just understood utility. So, no wastage with Daddy. It was all, you get this because you need it. And if you don't need it, you don't need it. He was a hardworking man. He was a faithful man. We saw, and I mean faithful in everything. Faithful to our mother for 53 years. Faithful to us. Faithful to God. Faithful to church. I mean, to the point where the last day of his life, he is doing ministry. I'm sure his body was tired, but he was faithful. He was faithful. He was consistent. And we're just so grateful that, that we had a consistent dad, never absent, always present. Even when he was driving the church bus and we wanted to go with him with the blanket, we were there because he made us come. He wanted us to be around him. We're just so thankful, so grateful that we've been blessed, we've been privileged to have not just known him, but to be a part of his life and he a part of ours. We're all going to miss Dad, but I think what gives us all solace today is the fact that every one of us sitting here has a piece of Daddy. Every one of us, not just in our face, but in our hearts, in our actions, in things that we all do. I see Daddy in everyone. And so just so thankful that Dad left a piece of himself deposited in us. He was careful, he was deliberate in really passing on his faith, passing on so many valuable life lessons. We're going to walk away stronger. Yes. We are emotionally well because we had a good dad.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't really understand, but I fell down this hill. Now I got glue on my hands and I got records on my fingers. Records on my fingers, I got records on my fingers and I just can't
Just steady with your body, Daddy. Just steady with your body.
Go, Papa! Way to go!
I am putting on the star. Wise men saw the star and led them to where the baby was. Boom, 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 boom.